If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees. Time has been transformed, and we have changed. It has advanced and set us in motion. It has unveiled its face, inspiring us with bewilderment and exhilaration. Where is the justice of political power if it executes the murderer and jails the plunderer, and then itself marches upon neighboring lands, killing thousands and pillaging the very hills? What is this world that is hastening me toward I know not what, viewing me with contempt? The obvious is that which is never seen until someone expresses it simply. If the grandfather of Jesus had known what was hidden within him, he would have stood humble and awestruck before his soul. Most people who ask for advice from others have already resolved to act as it pleases them. Poverty is a veil that obscures the face of greatness. An appeal is a mask covering the face of tribulation. Pain and foolishness lead to great bliss and complete knowledge, for eternal wisdom created nothing under the sun in vain. Would that I were a dry well, and that the people tossed stones into me, for that would be easier than to be a spring of flowing water that the thirsty pass by, and from which they avoid drinking. If you cannot work with love but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work. Coming generations will learn equality from poverty, and love from woes. Much of your pain is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Knowledge of the self is the mother of all knowledge. So it is incumbent on me to know myself, to know it completely, to know its minutiae, its characteristics, its subtleties, and its very atoms. The person you consider ignorant and insignificant is the one who came from God, that he might learn bliss from grief and knowledge from gloom. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns to music. Which of you would be a reed, dumb and silent, when all else sings together in unison? You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. Poetry is a deal of joy and pain and wonder, with a dash of the dictionary. When love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. Art is a step from what is obvious and well known toward what is arcane and concealed. They consider me to have sharp and penetrating vision, because I see them through the mesh of a sieve. Nor shall derision prove powerful against those who listen to humanity or those who follow in the footsteps of divinity, for they shall live forever. Forever. What difference is there between us, say the restless dream that follows my soul, but fears to come near you? The lust for comfort, that stealthy thing that enters the house a guest, and then becomes a host, and then a master. Wisdom stands at the turn in the road and calls upon us publicly, but we consider it false and despise its adherents. Many a doctrine is like a window pane. We see truth through it, but it divides us from truth. If my survival caused another to perish, then death would be sweeter and more beloved. When we turn to one another for counsel, we reduce the number of her enemies. Death most resembles a prophet, who is without honor in his own land, or a poet who is a stranger among his people. Hallow the body as a temple to comeliness and sanctify the heart as a sacrifice to love. Love recompenses the adorers. You have your ideology and I have mine. Say not, I have found the truth, but rather, I have found a truth. I wash my hands of those who imagine chattering to be knowledge, silence to be ignorance, and affection to be art. Love possesses not, nor will it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. Work is love made visible, And if you cannot work with love but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work and sit at the gate of the temple and take alms of those who work with joy. The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold. You pray in your distress and in your need, would that you might also pray in the fullness of your joy and in your days of abundance. A little knowledge that acts is worth infinitely more than much knowledge that is idle. Perplexity is the beginning of knowledge. Rebellion without truth is like spring in a bleak, arid desert. No man can reveal to you nothing, but that which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. All that spirits desire, spirits attain. Exaggeration is truth that has lost its temper. Wisdom ceases to be wisdom when it becomes too proud to weep, too grave to laugh, and too selfish to seek other than itself. The just is close to the people's heart, but the merciful is close to the heart of God. Faith is an oasis in the heart which will never be reached by the caravan of thinking. Are you a politician asking what your country can do for you, or a zealous one asking what you can do for your country? If you are the first, then you are a parasite; if the second, then you are an oasis in the desert. Advance, and never halt, for advancing is perfection. Advance and do not fear the thorns in the path, for they draw only corrupt blood. Knowledge cultivates your seeds and does not sow in your seeds. The eye of a human being is a microscope, which makes the world seem bigger than it really is. Of life's two chief prizes, beauty and truth, I found the first in a loving heart and the second in a laborer's hand. Zeal is a volcano, the peak of which the grass of indecisiveness does not grow.